All right.
Welcome in to the Two Timers.
Yeah, if we had a good little audio dub there.
Welcome back, fellas. How you guys doing?
What's up, boys?
What's happening? Where are you guys?
I am going to eat on the show. I apologize. I've not eaten much all day, and I just picked up Chipotle. So that's how
That's
it
good.
goes.
Did you get a bowl?
Yeah, I got a bowl, and then I get extra things, so I put it in a different bowl at home, so it's easier to eat.
What
It's like a
different
solid
things
couple
do you
pounds
get?
of food. Well, like salad dressing and chips and stuff like that.
You mix the chips
Nothing-
into it?
I'll scoop with the chips. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Thought you were like crunching them up, throwing it in the
nothing
bowl.
crazy over
Wild
I'm not
times.
an insane person.
Oh man.
And I also have a bit of a location change. I'm at the folks' place tonight because there's a hurricane heading towards Florida. So let's see what happens there.
You up in Virginia?
Yeah, just for a few days. We weren't really needing to evacuate, but Eckerd closed for Sarah, so we just decided might as well take a quick visit. So
Nice.
here for a couple of days.
Excellent.
Nice. You want to bring me my golf clubs? No, just kidding.
I can figure out a way to get them to you. Yeah.
Just kidding. That's for Matt.
Oh, Ryan just texted. Yeah, I am here, Ryan. Just got here today. Haven't had a lot of time.
Nice.
All right. Well, we can get into this. What we're actually here for, rather than my travels or anything like that. Let me pull this back up. Starting with the saddest matchup of the week, Moresco. I'll let you go for it.
Nice. Yeah, this was a rough matchup to watch this week. Clark,
It was.
being involved in this barn burner, how'd you feel?
I'm not enjoying playing fantasy so far this year, fellas. That's all I can say.
I understand. Yeah, I mean it's rough. So I don't know how long Tebow and Walker are going to be out, but your team looked really solid with both of them in there. So, part of me hopes Steele doesn't do well because I have Hunt on my team, but at the same time, for your sake, I hope Steele kind of does well. But it kind of hurt picking up Carr and then him having a dud after 2 solid weeks as well. So all in all, pretty rough week. I mean, Micah's week wasn't that much better either, but he just happened to score 4 more points than you. And that's sometimes how fantasy goes. Besides 3 players in double digits, everything else was single digits. So there's really not a ton. Is it enough to keep him from Denny's? I guess we'll find out as we get down the road.
It's pretty bad when you're losing to Micah. I feel like I let you guys down on the picks here too. Everyone went with me.
Ooh, wow.
That hurts.
So I apologize. I will try and do better.
Yeah, leading into my matchup, I mean, rough week for the Dean brothers combined. I think combined they might have still lost to Ryan, which that hurts.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than Murray and Brandon Aubrey having double-digit points, he's just a tough week. I mean, I think we were texting a little bit, and he was hoping Ayuk had the Juwan Jennings game, but obviously Jennings went off, and Ayuk didn't do too much. And McBride and Warren. Did McBride get hurt during the game? I don't even know.
Yeah,
I didn't watch this one. Yeah.
I didn't watch that either. My team was honestly struggling pretty bad until Henry had his game on later in the afternoon, and then Allen, of course, did Allen things on Monday night to make my score look a lot better than it really was. So which is nice to see because it kind of put some points up for me as well. But honestly, I was starting out with Stevenson having 0.3 points. I went to bed when he had 2.3, and I woke up with him having 0.3. So that was fun to see. He got a fumble loss right at the near the end of the game. So, but yeah, the tight end spot for me is just zero. I don't know what to do in that spot.
I think a lot of people are right there with you, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't remember if we all went. Yes, we did.
We did, yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
We all had either faith in Chris's team or lack of faith in Dave's team.
You're welcome, guys. You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, doing your part.
Leading into Matt Giles' first win of the year. I mean, one of these two teams was going to get their first win of the year, and happened to be Matt. And I think a lot of it has to do with that dynamic duo finally having a pretty solid game with Chase and Burrow. And then Rashee Rice has been solid all year, which is probably really nice. And Cook, James Cook and Rashee Rice are both having solid years so far. I mean, even 4 points from his kicker defense still put up 123 points. And then Kevin's team, 104 points, not bad. I mean, Kyron Williams and Juwan Jennings had 70 of them combined. So it hurts when the other 7 guys have 30 points. Doesn't look like you're going to get a win usually doing that. But it's interesting because I was looking at the Yahoo projected like rankings at this point, and they still have Kevin going like 10-4. So I don't know where that's coming from, but
Wow.
Yeah, based on what?
I don't know. So Kevin, hang in there. I don't know if you're bound for Denny's like Micah, but no, never know.
Yeah, the names are getting unreal here. We got Ben being Maresco's 4-time champ. We have 2 bound for Denny's at this point. Tough to track.
Very tough to track.
But what was easy to track is that all of us thought Matt was going to win this game, and we were correct.
Yeah. It's not surprising.
Matchup 4.
Oh,
Hold up, let me do this real quick too, because we don't even you can give the recap, but we all know what's happening here. So
I think we all knew what this was coming. Honestly, I think this is what we kind of expected out of Dan's team going into the season. He got 2 lucky wins the first 2 weeks, and then came back to earth. 75 points minus 32. I believe that is 43. That's how many points his team put up besides Jaden Daniels. So that hurts. Jaden Daniels, honestly, though, looks like a stud, which is pretty exciting. I think he's probably a pretty cheap keeper too for Dan. So if he keeps doing what he's doing, Dan could be set up. But yeah, I mean, it was a rough week. And then, I mean, we all picked Ryan just, I think, because Ryan's team is right now the hottest team in our league and probably the best team in our league across the board. Even with Achani and Connor putting up 10 points together, he still put up 130 points. And that's pretty scary. And the sneaky Green Bay defense pickup, I didn't even know he did that. But that was a risk. I feel like that was an interesting, great play. So good on him for doing that right before the game.
yeah, Ryan's team continues to look real good. We'll see if anyone comes down to earth, but like he's got scoring across the board right now. So not really. I obviously like Ryan doing well as a family member, but he's becoming too dominant in the league, and I want some parity.
I don't think he scored under 130 points, like in all the weeks. I think he's had some pretty.
I think I have the second most points in the league. And I think he has like a 50-point lead on me right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. Look, well done, Ryan. So far.
Good start.
Yeah, it's a really solid start. Leading into this one, the Battle of the Cousins. Nats team pulling out the victory by a few points. Both teams, I mean, they had respectable weeks, not great weeks. I mean, Ben's team had his Baker came back to earth like Derek Carr, I think, and then he got a nice touchdown from Harrison that boosted his points. Bijan didn't have a great week, even though he put up double digits. So the defense as well, that solid play by him, putting New York's defense in there. And then Nat's team, Cooper and Taylor just had great weeks. I mean, Cooper looked like his old self a little bit there this past week for the Browns, even in their loss to the Giants. But yeah, solid week by both of them. I mean, I think Nat's team in the past was carried by her defensive kicker, and they both didn't do anything this week. So she still got the win. So good win for Nat.
I was going to say, looking at this, I feel like Ryan's team might be the only team, or at least one of few, that has consistently had like decent performances from almost everyone. Aside, like almost everyone's had like a dud kicker or a dud defense or a dud tight end or a quarterback or something like that. This one, I think Maresco, yeah, you picked correctly. The rest of us did not. little breakaway action from Maresco.
Paid off. Hannah's team, really good week for her. I don't think I'm going to go back on what we said about Sam Darnold because I think my boys are going to bring him back down to earth this weekend.
What did you guys say?
I don't even know. I think we were just saying that it didn't seem like a big difference between Darnold and Lawrence.
I think.
Did you say anything?
I was going to go back and look. I didn't see. Oh, someone's at the front door. 1 second. Be right back. Continue. I don't remember what I said.
I honestly don't remember what I said either, but I think
I
we were just saying
anything.
we didn't see the big. I think we were saying I don't think Darnold's going to keep doing what he's doing, and then he came out and throws 4 passing touchdowns. So, I mean, a big week from Barkley again. Barkley seems to be having a resurgence in Philadelphia.
What the hell are you guys doing? What is this? This is crap.
Who let him in?
Maresco, I heard Maresco was talking crap.
I'm talking about your wife right now.
Dang. Okay,
That was a good response.
Ben's now on the call.
But yeah, DK, solid week. We're gonna act like Ben's not here anymore. Jonesy, solid week for him. It's unfortunate that he got the loss because he would have beat most of the other teams in our league this week. That always hurts. But I think the good news for Jonesy is putting up points in a loss always comes back to like help at the end of the year if you're in a tiebreaker. Trying to get into the playoffs. So that's one good thing. But his receiving core finally put up like really good numbers across the board. Flex, wide receivers, and then Montgomery's just been consistently putting up touchdowns. So
yeah, it's got to feel good to see Olave put up some good numbers as well.
Even with and Carr didn't have a great game, so it's like one of those things. I think we all picked him. Oh no.
No.
Wow. You're muted, Clark.
Sorry, I switched audio sources. I said the Dean's knowing what to do on this one.
That's all right. He's 12 games behind us, Joshy.
Yeah, exactly.
Apologize to Hannah for
What did we say? Do you remember?
crapping her Darnold pick.
What did we say, Ben? We're all trying to remember.
I think you guys were skeptical that Sam Darnold was the guy, and he's obviously him. So what can we say?
We're all like, we don't know what we said. In the final matchup of the week, we got one of the two-timers on here, Jonathan Bergman. His team staying undefeated. Solid week across the board, Dak. And then I think it's hilarious. His keepers had the exact same running back point totals at 16.3. But other than that, his wide receiving core honestly didn't look great this week. Wow. So not sure what he's going to end up doing there. And the Bears continue to beat the Bears and lose. So the Charbonnet, Singletary backs look solid. But other than that, it's been a rough start for Mitch.
His non-Bears are looking decent.
Seriously. The rest of his team, the Bears, look terrible. So
I think there's no surprises here on who we picked. Pretty straightforward.
Nice.
Was that the last match of the week? All right, so that brings us into recaps of our scores this week. There was one person that didn't perform as well as the others. Still performed okay, but lost. My season total is slacking a little bit in terms of total overall picks. And before we get into the next stage of things, which is opening up the league pick'em, we each had $1 of fab on the line here, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we wagered. Obviously, Maresco and I will hold ours. I would vote, if you guys are good with this, that Josh's dollar goes to Ryan because he was the guest and he outperformed Josh.
But is the league pick'em? Did anyone do better than us?
So no one did better. It's a good segue into Are You Smarter Than a Two-Timer? This is what the league pick'em looked like. So we had good turnout across the league. 9 people participated. Ironically, the only other person that's on the call right now also did pretty well with a 5-2 record. But he didn't, as we said during the rules, he didn't outright outperform the people on the call. So the people on the call get the default tiebreaker.
I will gladly take Josh's dollar.
Or we could give Ryan's dollar to Ben.
50 cents a fab each.
Rough week for Dan.
What if we create a league pot, put some money into it, and then like week 5 or 6, like every few weeks, we just hand out the pot to somebody?
So I was thinking about this because we have the coin in play, but with opening up League Pick'em, like the coin's kind of useless. I was gonna say if the coin ever beats us, all the wagered fab should go to the coin as a pot, and it gets held until someone beats the coin. But then I was like, the coin's never gonna beat us because the coin's terrible at this. So we need something that like incentivizes a continued interaction though.
Maresco was the only one to choose Natalie. He's the only one who got that pick right.
That's
Mhm.
crazy. She didn't even choose herself.
Nat.
Nat was really trying to go for a breakaway with Mitch. That was an unfortunate decision though.
Hmm.
And a breakaway decision by Dan for himself.
Yeah, everyone knows that one's a real loser. I mean, the other thing we could do, well, I think we should only do this for the 2-timers or 2-timers plus guest on the call. Is if you go worse than everyone else, like Dan did here, then you lose some chunk of your own fab or something like that.
200 real American US dollars.
That'll give up 200.
And it
real
goes to the 2-timers.
fab.
No, just for Daniel.
Yeah, just for Dan. I don't know. We can brainstorm on it, but I like the idea, Josh, of having some kind of pot available specifically for this, not just the people on the show.
Sure.
And we'll when we get to doing picks, I'll send out the link so that everyone can do picks this week as well. But yeah, I guess congrats, Ben. You did as well, but you did not do better than a 2-timer.
Are you smarter than a 2-timer?
I'm clearly not smarter than a 3-timer, aka Maresco, or a 2-timer. I think the jury is out on me and Josh, who's smarter there. But we'll find out tonight in our cornhole tournament.
Well, according to this, you are 1 pick smarter.
Oh, so there you go. Done. Clark will probably show up for that cornhole tournament then.
Very well might. We'll see. Weekly fab, even though he was not as smart as Ben, Chris, Ryan, or I, his players did show up at the longest single tight end reception, which is a ridiculous category to track, which we asked Josh to track, and he came back saying it was his own tight end.
So we're trusting him.
Him on this?
I mean, if you want to verify it, go
To be
ahead.
honest, I don't think any other tight end had over 6.1 points. So
Brenton Strange, the Jags guy, definitely did.
did anyone start him though?
Yeah, Hannah did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. That's the second time you've insulted my. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Well,
She did start it.
we'll take Josh's word for this one. We'll verify it, but it would be $5 a fab
Brent-
to Josh.
Brenton Strange had 12 yards of receiving.
But he had a touchdown.
He had a touchdown.
Well done, Josh.
Well done, Joshy.
Good job. I think didn't Goddard give you like 20-something points this week?
Yeah, he had a great week. It's like 170 yards receiving or something.
He also saved the Eagles.
Well, that's less
Yeah,
enjoyable.
don't like that.
Bozo of the week, which we've adopted as our award for anyone who overspends more than $10 above the next highest bid in waiver wire picks. Quiet waiver wire this week. There was no Bozo of the week with Jonesy grabbing Emmanuel Wilson, but only by a $8 margin.
No,
No, Bozo.
I think I am the bozo of the week.
Yeah, Ben is the bozo of the week.
Yeah.
He spent $10 on someone that no one
And
else
still
put
on
on.
Taysom Hill.
Oh, that's right, because Fab Offers in our league doesn't show if there's not a competing.
Yes.
All right. Well, he showed up. He showed up. For
I knew
Bozo of
that.
the week. Anything you have of yourself, or
I have no defense. I think it's better to have loved than to not, and better to have lost than and tried and lost than to have never tried at all.
well,
so
you did lose.
Did you think Taysom Hill was going to be like a hot commodity?
I again wanted to. How do I do this? This guy over here, I wanted to beat Josh picking up his. He drafted Taysom, so I thought he might go back and get him. I had a bid for $5 in, and then I thought I have 110 fab, so I might as well spend 10 because I have more than everybody else. Pretty much, I think Maresco might have 110. So I didn't really feel anything about it, and now I feel honored that I'm the first bozo of the week.
Carson Steele. I was Bozo of the week.
Oh, you were bozo of the week. Well, see, look, we're just a couple of bozos over there.
Well, I think the only other thing we have left on the deck is going to be our picks, which we can do in a second. But given that we have Ben here, Is anyone considering trades? Josh, I know. All right, well, I'll bring this one up. Josh, you keep on trying to trade me Justin Fields for Bucky Irving.
Yeah. You need
How many times has he
You
tried?
need some quarterback help.
2 or 3 times now.
No, just like once.
Oh, it's at least twice. I have text messages, Josh.
He has receipts.
All right.
I mean, we don't. I guess Ryan might be a good sell high candidate if anyone wanted to trade with Ryan at this point because all of his players are performing well. But Ryan probably doesn't feel the need to like shake things up at all. And there's not really a ton on the waiver wire right now, is there, in terms of interesting players to pick up?
Yeah. I feel like, things are definitely a little bit quieter than they've been. And it's kind of surprising considering there's been so many injuries. So I think people like definitely need pieces, but also it's kind of still early.
Yeah.
I think Dave and Kevin will make a move this week.
I think it also goes back to what you were saying though, Clark, is like the consistency of players. Oh my god, that's so loud.
All right, Ryan is texting. I just put on Jimmy to disturb so you don't hear the but Ryan says he's open to trades.
Live trade?
Live trade?
Live trade?
A
Anyone?
live trade offer. We got 4 players here. Anyone on Ryan's roster? Let's pull up Ryan's
I'm
roster.
going to throw him a trade right now. This is the first time ever. This could go viral right now. Live trade.
Our one viewer is sitting on the edge of the seat.
But no, I was saying, Clark, I think it goes back to what you're saying. Like, so many players are so inconsistent this year. Like, even the studs, like most of them have had down weeks at this point. So it's like, what value are getting where? I don't know. It's one of those things. It seems very.
And to be fair, to go to like Josh's argument about me needing quarterback help, because I do. Quarterback play, I feel like, is down in general. Like when Josh and I were texting about Fields and kind of like quarterback value, your boy Josh Allen came up, Maresco, as like one of the only like prime quarterbacks who actually consistently, maybe him and Lamar, you actually feel like you have a good shot of having 20 plus points a week. Everyone else is so hit and miss.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I have really bad news, guys. Really bad news. I am not the bozo of the week. That belongs to Ryan Dickerson Dean. He spent 18 unopposed dollars on DeAndre Hopkins. So,
Oh boy.
So just wanted to set the record straight on that. And I just put in an offer to him for Kyle Pitts, and we'll see what happens.
Did he really?
Yeah, transactions. Keep going.
I saw that one too. I totally forgot.
Taysom Hill, 18. Oh my goodness. Maybe he's just trying. Who did you drop, Ryan? Did you not drop? You had an empty roster spot?
He dropped Curtis Samuel the night before.
The night before.
Oh,
Or the day before.
well, we should track Curtis Samuel and DeAndre Hopkins' performance the rest of the year.
And
see
Josh,
if,
I think we could put Josh in there as well. $6 for the Tennessee defense.
who's Tennessee playing this week, Josh? Or do they just have a really big schedule?
Miami.
A lot of unopposed fab offers this week, which was interesting. There was only one player that multiple people bid on.
I'm surprised Matt paid for Geno. Geno's been sitting on waivers since the beginning of the season. But I guess it's fair. He's like the last consistent right around 15 to 20 point quarterback at the moment.
What's one move that you guys think that Kevin and Dave and Mitch should do? Because they're the only people
Winless
without
teams.
a win. Josh,
Well, I think
Dave has a win, by the way.
I don't count it.
I think Mitch should trade his Bears squad away. I think that's one move I would make.
Do you think anyone will trade for Mitch?
Yeah, wait a second. More garbage. Garbage times garbage equals garbage.
The Bears are cursed. So clearly he needs out.
I could see Mitch flipping Mahomes if he believes in Caleb Williams. He could flip Mahomes.
Go more Bears.
Yeah, absolutely.
You might as well just go all in.
Triple.
Yeah. It's tough though, because I mean, like Dave needs some running backs, and I feel like running backs are people hold on tight to them in our league, just because, especially with 14-team league, like if somebody gets hurt, it's tough. So it's kind of hard to say, like, what Dave needs to do. And he's also dealing with some injuries, I feel like, right?
Yeah, I do think this year's been rough injuries-wise on everyone. Almost every team outside of maybe Ryan has had some pretty significant injuries, I feel like. Not to bemoan my woes, because I think other people have. Like, Dave has a couple of big starters down. Don't you as well, Ben?
To be fair, he lost Jordan Love,
Yeah, well, that's fair.
but he has Lamar. So.
He has Lamar. He's not starting Jordan.
He wouldn't be playing Jordan Love, yeah.
And Ben hasn't been able to start CMC the whole year.
Yeah,
And
that's
he might-
the biggest one.
And he might be out forever.
Well, to be fair, though, and this kind of gets into the sympathy, not sympathy thing. Mason's been insane.
He's been pretty good.
So, like, I mean, what are you expecting? 5, maybe 10 more points from CMC on a couple weeks? But
Yeah. So the way I look at it is not the points lost, it's the money spent.
yeah, that's fair.
So I blame the Niners, and it is there's a lot more money than our league being spent on fantasy, and CMC had to be consensus 1-1.
Mhm.
So I think you're going to see the NFL crack down on teams for not releasing injury information in the lead up to fantasy, because it's a multi-billion-dollar industry now, including DraftKings and all that. Because I would not have spent $76 on CMC, if I had known. So yeah, that's something retroactively that I look back and I'm like, dang. But in hindsight, is 2020. So
Seeing a specialist in Germany.
yeah, and the deeper issue, which you're very familiar with right now, is that one day he might feel really good and then the next day he doesn't, which is probably why this ended up happening. Achilles tendonitis, it flares up and he's like, I can't be myself. And they're like,
Yeah.
okay, well, you're not going to get back on the field until you do. So
What if,
Yeah, I thought
ahead.
mine was gone yesterday. I woke up and it was terrible again.
Yep.
What if CMC has just decided he doesn't want to play football anymore and he's just injured? He's seeing a specialist in Germany.
Yeah.
He's just partying everywhere. he
It
goes.
does. It is interesting that Oktoberfest was just in
I was going to
Munich.
say, he's not having a bad time.
Mm,
who knows?
He's not having a bad time.
What do you think, Moresto? What does Kevin need to do to get out of the winless column?
We need less Denny's teams.
Yeah, that's
he needs to change his name first. Yep. I honestly don't know, because his team. I think Andrews needs to come more alive than he's been doing.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had a decent week, right? Oh no, he had 0 points again last week. I didn't even realize that. I mean, he spent a lot of money on Andrews. If you look at his team, it looks pretty solid across the board, but it's just like one of those things. He needs players to perform. He needs a studs to go off, right, and like carry him. Hurts and Hill to have baller games to get wins. So at this point, and Williams. So, but like last week, I don't know if you were here yet, Ben, but he had 70 points from 2 players, and he had 30 from the rest of his team, right? So it's like you can't win fantasy doing that.
Would he have won if he had played Keon Coleman?
I don't know, but he had started him against me, and he had 0 points. So I understand why I didn't start him.
I don't think he would have won.
I think he would have been really close if he had started him.
I think
he still would have lost by like 12 or something.
He was down by what? He lost by almost 20.
Oh, never mind. Only Tolbert.
I think one of the complicated things for him is that Tua is out, which means
Yeah, Miami's offense is kind of.
basically, he'll still score a touchdown here and there and do something, but like his ceiling is so much lower now without Tua on the field.
And I think if the Dolphins trade for a decent quarterback, he might get some of that value back. But
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel like this is also, it's early in the season for sure, but like this is also when the better fantasy teams and the worst fantasy teams kind of start to establish themselves. And it's like Ryan has 5 to 6 guys that could win a game for him. Kevin has 1, maybe 2. And then it just becomes you're leaning on filler positions to hopefully get you above 10 points. So we'll see. Hopefully it's not dire straits for him or Dave or Michael or myself, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
somebody
early.
already talked about this, but passing is down in the league. So I think things will kind of come back around. And then some of people's receiving cores will start producing a little bit more. So it'll be kind of interesting to see.
I mean, 7th playoffs right now is a team at 1 and 2, right? So no one's out of this by a long shot. So just kind of have to keep grinding, see what you can do.
Yeah.
What's the? Yeah, that's fair. There's a lot of 1 and 2 and below
hit
teams.
points for the. Oh, you can't do it on desktop. I mentioned Dave because Dave's points for are the lowest in the league by a fairly.
By 1 to
Oh,
Micah.
by 1. You're right. Never mind.
Back to my question from last week. When is Dave's team going to score 100 points this season?
When people get healthy, maybe. Was he right?
Who is out for him right now?
He's benched his.
He's
entire
already
team.
started. It's already begun.
Besides AJ Brown, who else is hurt? That's all he's been missing.
Jalen Warren.
Trey McBride now.
Well, Jalen Warren played last week, right? And Trey McBride played last week. I'm saying, like,
Sure.
even leading into last week, he was missing AJ Brown 1 week.
Yeah, Dave's team has been really rough.
I think it's interesting to see. I don't know if you guys watched the Gridiron Heights, but they were doing a joke on the fact that, the running backs are back and the wide receivers are, kind of down. And you guys already spoke about the running back being a hot commodity in our league because it's 14 teams. I think the scoring is down. And when scoring is down, the Derrick Henrys of this world, are still punching in touchdowns. Kamara is obviously, I think he's number 1 in fantasy. So it's interesting that Dave, went fairly heavy wide receiver and it is not doing great. I see it as an interesting thing. Whereas I went heavy running back and I also suck. So who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe my point is completely invalid.
I just had a trade rejected in our league.
Me too. I had mine rejected as well.
Do you guys want to speak on what his trades
I offered Micah. I offered Micah Justin Fields and Tajay Spears for Braylon Allen, so I could have my handcuff.
The old 2-for-1.
Richardson has been a little spotty for him, and Fields offers an alternate option. Still a mobile quarterback.
Do you think when fully healthy you ever start Fields over Richardson?
Depends on the matchup.
Yeah.
I think if they're playing like a top 5 defense, maybe. AR has looked terrible after the first week.
Yeah. And Fields is actually kind of like looked progressively better each week. And he scored a rushing touchdown this past week as well. So.
Well, fair.
Ryan rejected my Bijan for Kamara trade.
To be fair, I'd probably reject that as well. Speaking of disclosed injuries from the Falcons and Bijan.
Yeah, for real. Oh my gosh.
Well, before we get on to picks and our fab for this week, there was a little dispute about sponsorship for this week, and we didn't want to disparage any other individuals on the show or their pets just yet. At least we've had some legal pushback, but part of the reason that we have a guest here is that he offered to fill a sponsorship slot, so he paid his way in. So I'll give him the floor.
Yep, very, very simple. There's been a lot of grief being passed around about my name in the league. So I am offering it up for ad space, $1 fab dollar per week. You may advertise your business on my team. You get 1 week, and then I will change it. You can name it whatever you want, $1 fab dollar, and we'll change it. And the price will probably go up if you put expletives or are disparaging.
So there's terms and conditions.
There are some T's and C's, but for one US or fab dollar, you can have my team name. So
$1 a week. So you get the team name only for a week, and then it
just
changes.
for a week.
Okay.
Yes, and if you continue to advertise and
Is this legal within our league rules? Can we talk to the commissioner before we give fab dollars to?
Hey, you guys are the ones that are just throwing fab out like it's candy.
$1 a fab. Come on.
Did you guys realize that you had Mika and someone else on the picker wheel? Like you're just giving fab.
But they haven't won.
That's true. That's true. Anyway, yeah.
Micah did win last year. Remember, we put him like 7 out of the 8 at the end of the year.
But yes, space, anything. Yep.
Good to
Okay.
know.
Side hustles, essential oils.
I see some blast off buddies in your
Blast off
future.
buddies, yeah, maybe.
Good to know. Good to know. All right.
Well, speaking of fab, it's another way to segue into earning some fab. So this week,
There he is.
yeah, he's not wrong. We had him on there twice. Browser has lost connection. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Can hear us? Okay. What should we do for fab this week? We did kind of kickers. We did whatever all these categories were with tight ends. What do you guys think? Something that's not possible to track.
Something quarterback related, maybe?
Yeah, we could do quarterbacks. Let's do QBs. Easy ones first. Oh, I'm typing over here.
Most INTs. Oh, that's too tight.
They could tie. Yeah, same with touchdowns. Touchdowns might be.
Most passing yards, maybe?
Yeah,
Most attempts.
Oh, I like that one.
Most rushing yards.
Yeah, I guess that works. Only like, what, 3 or 4
It's like-
QBs now.
I like that one.
actually, if you don't want him on there, we'll do this.
No, I was
We'll
joking.
do this.
Seems
One
good.
more. One more.
Okay.
Caleb Williams.
If started.
If started. Yeah.
Longest,
Most fumbles lost.
That could be a tie as well. Sacked most? How often is that? Is that normally tied?
longest pass, maybe?
If you want to track it, Josh.
You're looking this way. If it lands on that. All right, those are good. Let's see what happens.
You just gotta look at 14. Oh,
So we will go QBs. QB with the most passing attempts,
I'm
not
in-
rushing attempts.
I'm in play. Baker is slinging it.
This is true. All right, so there you go. You could win some of your fab back and sponsor Ben's team for 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
5 weeks?
No, $1 per week, and then we reevaluate.
Can I just buy you out for the rest of the season?
We can discuss that. Absolutely.
He wants like a consumption.
Absolutely.
Rate.
Oh no, I can be bought. I can absolutely be bought.
How many weeks would Justin Fields be traded to you by? Josh will give you Justin Fields.
Oh, yeah, actually, interesting.
What?
No. Okay, let's do this. What are we, week 4? I'll send this out to the league.
We got to do this while we do it, right?
Yeah. All right, I'll pull up the actual matchups for this week. So we'll start. We'll still go in our order, but we just I guess we'll fill out our picks while we do it. So we'll go Josh, Moresco, me, Ben, starting with myself versus Jonesy. And you can fill out the form later if you want. Just make sure your picks stay consistent. Oh, the order on the pick'em's a little different than the order here. Sorry. Josh, you're going first, though.
I'll go with Jonesy.
Moresco,
Jonesy.
I'm also going Jonesy.
I'm going Clark.
Thank you.
Breakaway, baby.
All right, Moresco, this next one will go to you first. It's going to be David versus one of the Bound for Denny's.
It's Kevin.
That's Kevin. I'm going to go Kevin.
These are official starting lineups, by the way.
Yeah, this is locked, I believe. Aubrey versus the world. Also, the title of Drake's next album.
Imagine he won with just Aubrey.
Man,
I'll go Weggy.
David, I'm gonna go Weggy though.
Yeah, this is really hard to do now. Is it me now? Are we
Yeah,
doing
you and then Josh.
snaking?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go Dave. You know, I'm a big Kyler guy until Call of Duty comes out.
And I'm going Kevin.
All right. Next, we'll go Matt versus Ryan. Last year, this would have been one of the easiest picks of the year. And ironically, it's almost one of the easiest picks again, but for very different reasons. So I'm going Ryan.
Well, just note that Matt has his kicker slot empty again.
Oh, good point. I'm going Matt. No, I'm going Ryan.
He's sticking with family. Oh, wait.
That's right. Blood family.
Is it me again?
Yeah, it's you.
I'm going Matthew as well.
Jeez.
I think that Ryan's lucky streak is coming to an end.
I'm going Ryan, by the way. I locked that in. So
Yeah, I went Matthew.
yeah. Joshy.
I'm going to go Ryan.
I've already made all my picks. Actually, I should just submit.
Yeah, you can lock it.
Done.
Maresco?
I'm gonna go Ryan.
All right, Ben got the breakaway with Matt, at least right now.
He's got the breakaway with all three.
Going aggressive, and it's your pick first for a
What can I
Dan versus yourself.
Yeah, so this is a no-brainer, folks. I was just with Daniel recently, and the vibes are not good. I mean, he is down on his team. He's high on Jaden Daniels. But aside from that, I can tell you the mood in the locker room is desperate. I mean, it smells like fear. And yeah, it's just really sad to watch. So I'm going with myself.
Sounds like the culture is damn good.
Culture is damn good. Well, like I said, Commanders are good. Daniel RG4.
Josh, to you.
I'll go Daniel.
Son of.
Who'd you pick? Sorry, you froze on my screen.
Daniel.
Oh, he had a chance there. He could have recanted.
Could have pulled it back.
Could have pulled it back. I'm unfortunately going Daniel as well.
I'm going Ben.
Yes.
Maresco 4X champ. But I don't really
The
want
knife
that.
I have at his side, it also matters.
All right, an interesting one here. Can Mr. Darnold back up
This isn't
play versus Mr. Actual Maresco 3X champ? Josh, this is your pick first.
the projections here.
It's the tight end, strangely enough.
At 17 points is not 4-point difference there, Ben.
I'm gonna go with Maresco.
I'm going myself as well.
Man, you're really going to care about that Buffalo-Baltimore game, huh?
Yes, sir. Just needed high scoring.
Cleveland, Tampa Bay. I'm going Hannah.
I'm also going Hannah.
I think Hannah can pull it out.
I can see it.
No pun intended.
No, yeah. It's not in my wheelhouse. I think Zeke's projection is low, and then Brenton Strange.
Josh, Natalie. This is to you first, Maresco.
Yeah.
Penultimate week.
I'm gonna go Natalie.
So it's me. You know what? I would probably pick Natalie, but Josh is 3-0, so I'm just going to say he stays undefeated. He's going 4-0.
Ride the hot hand.
That's right.
What are we looking at for matchups?
Josh doesn't have bad matchups.
No, Josh has good matchups. I think Kelsey gets off the schneid this week, and I do think that there are some good matchups for Nat. Oh man, I want to pick Josh though, but he didn't pick me, so I'm picking him. Also, I lost him, so what am I saying?
Ben's just saying whatever he wants to say. It's totally different than his actual picks.
Actually, I don't remember who I picked here.
Josh, did you make a pick here?
Yeah, I'm going with myself.
All right. So then we're on to the last matchup of the week. This might be the toughest one to pick.
This is
if we're honest. It's
It's the
Micah,
only one I don't have clicked on my app.
Micah versus the actual Bears.
If Micah's team produces, like, I actually think like he'll stomp Mitch.
Do you think he's going to start Richardson this week? Does he have another quarterback? Pittsburgh's going to destroy Richardson.
I hope Pittsburgh destroys the Colts because then I can go back to Micah and say, haha.
Fair.
Is that all you're gonna say?
Aha.
Yeah.
Is Walker back this week?
Kenneth, that's a great question. I don't know. I don't know if the Seahawks know either.
Who was clicking something as well? Is that Josh again, or is that
It's
Ben?
not
Josh
a
with the
lighter.
lighter.
I've got the lighter in my hand, sorry.
Last year, I could barely.
That one episode was just brutal.
They have not issued an update according to the Yahoo app yet. He's questionable though, rather than doubtful as of right now.
Yeah, he was questionable last week too. Before Saturday, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean he was never going to play last week.
It was an oblique injury, right?
That's brutal.
Yeah, week one. Same thing he had last season.
Last week they were saying something about like he couldn't really like do much. Just, like even like rotating and stuff.
Whose pick is it?
Did you pick first last time, Marasco?
Yeah, I think so. So I think
Then
it's
it's
yours.
mine. This is a tough one. I'm just gonna say that Micah's receivers are gonna have good days across the board, and he's gonna squeak out a win. That's my guess.
I've got Micah as well. I think CeeDee Lamb is motivated to redeem himself for his showing.
I hope so.
I do.
I'll go Micah.
You're going Micah too, Josh?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'll ride Micah.
I think I'm going to ride Micah.
We knew that was coming. There's only four responses.
mine
All
come in?
right. All four of us have submitted. Unless there's someone live on
No,
the
I just submitted, so someone else
No,
must
let
have.
me see if it's me.
All right, you just do this.
I just want to see if mine registered. Yes, let's go.
First.
Also
fastest.
first.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. I think that's everything we got on the schedule, on the agenda, in the old deck for the day. Any closing thoughts, Josh?
No, I gotta go.
Wow. Cares about the pod.
On that note.
I know that